Compassion isn't always so sweet. Wisdom in compassion is a very different experience of compassion and not wisdom. Who can know? The question itself, presupposes the answer is at hand for you, of course, as always. And I love it. And it's a very good inquiry. So thank you. What to say? First of all, I'll invite you to inquire into the compassionate one, the doer of compassion, the extender of compassion. This one, no doubt, is transacting. and there is some codependency and some enabling would absolutely have to be inherent in it. And it's not a problem. It is there for you to see, to engage in earnest, and to see the bits of you that still remain that are engaging in it. So all of these things arise for you to come to know yourself more subtly, more true. So go into it and make mistakes, because how else, But as wisdom dawns, your perch, I'll use that again, your perch is elevated higher and higher. You see more and more clearly. And even when somebody comes, they think in earnest, looking for help, you'll see oftentimes they are not. And it's a pattern playing out, and it wouldn't be a compassion to allow this pattern to play out, because it's not good for them. If you feed that, it will persist. So compassion isn't always smiley and accommodating. No. You have to know it, and then on the other side, if you were to be harsh, then also there's a bit of you in it, So, but all of these things are to be seen. There's nothing really you can get right, but other people's conditioning invites you into your conditioning, and it is there for you to see your conditioning and be free of it. So it's all in perfection. And like I say, the question that you ask is from the awareness that there are still these entanglements. And so the question is good. And the question from this awareness of seeing when it's like this, when it's like this, when it's like this, is from that awareness. And already the answer is at hand. You see?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, it's very difficult because your conditioning, even though you see through it, is still there, and your codependencies will be, they're not easily muted, And we just get it wrong also. But in our failures of acting inconsistent to our own dignity or sovereignty, acting inconsistent to other people's sovereignty and dignity, we come to see the friction, and that friction brings us again to the point of surrender, detach. And that's what it's for. That is the work of the work. That we've been saying, it's kind of fun. The work is not the work is the work. This is really a scene from Steinbeck's The Winter of Our Discontent, if you read it. I'm not suggesting you do, but there's a scene there of a really emotionally plagued man with alcoholic and addictive tendencies, and a dear friend of another man who is wealthy. And he gives him a sizable loan, and that loan leads to his own exit, you see. Mm-hmm. And so we are much confused about what is actual compassion. So my suggestion to you is to be inwardly inquisitive and how it feels to not indulge the conditioning of what you called compassionate, and to not do that, and to suffer the feeling of feeling like you are not helping, feeling like maybe you've become callous or uncaring. It isn't true, but I want you to be in the full, honest experience of how it feels in you to not extend the hand from wisdom that you would have from conditioning, and feel all of that. Yes. We move, briefly, I will say, the ego moves from passion, which is moving towards and away from objects of the world, impassioned. Passion, by the way, means suffering. Probably you knew this. The world often doesn't know this very basic fact. Where's your passion? Where's your suffering? Where's your sense of suffering? No, passion is identified in the world, and this is passion. Compassion develops through the process of forgiveness and an inward looking. It is the natural blossoming of a unity consciousness. You see other as your friend and brother, even your enemy you see as your brother. And this is compassion, means to suffer with, suffer along with. And then there is the great wisdom, viveka, which is dispassion. This is called vairagya. And this dispassion is actually the onset of agape, of unconditional love. And it is not entangled in the drama, and is the most loving and the most beneficial to everyone, even in silence and in action. But the first onsets of this dispassion may seem to the one who has been identified as a helper and a doer, and these things are all good. But when it begins to fall away, and you begin to see the independence of this I as we, that is not in transaction, then it can, to the lingering artifacts, the ghost of that identity can feel a bit callous, cold, aloof, and you will wonder, perhaps, what has become of me that I don't seem to care anymore. No, you just don't mind. And this is the whole point. And then from here, you are available. Nothing to promote, nothing even to attract. You're just simply available. And anybody that would come in sincerity would receive your full attention, your full love. And anybody that came, even repeatedly insincere, they wouldn't get an ounce. They wouldn't get an ounce. But in a single moment, if all of a sudden they showed up sincerely, then they would get the fullness. And you are not invested whether or not how they come, only that you are available like this. Somebody's hungry, you feed them and you teach them to fish.